Dillan's Dungeons and Dragons dick disease. Dillan sat down at his computer desk and logged on. Of course, he had to sift through all the adware and spyware pop-ups of porn he so carelessly installed until he could get to any programs he needed. Finally having an opportunity to open an internet browser, he resumed the latest happenings of his Dungeons and Dragons game with his online role-playing buddies. Dillan's online persona was named Javara, a powerful sorcerer and notorious womanizer.
Oh boy, I can't wait to use all of my spells selfishly and uncaringly while I flail about and flirt with anything that moves despite having low charisma scores. Being a useless piece of shit sure is great.
His adventuring party was in a forest. There were birds chirping and wind was blowing. The light showed through the tree canopies like golden rays. None of that mattered to Javara. There was only one thing on his mind. What imaginary creature was next for him to sexually assault? After all, what else could an extremely thirsty uber geek think of when the only woman he kisses is his mother? Just then, crackling was heard in a nearby bush. Javara readied his staff, eager for a fight. He inadvertently left the party that could protect him by wandering and getting lost in thoughts of breast. A creature came from the brush, somewhat scared in expression. It was a wood nymph. Curved and supple were the first words that came to Javara's mind. Since Javara was not intelligent enough to speak her language, he had a spell that allowed him to telepathically send a message any distance across the planet. Since he was still shit at being a caster class, he could only use the spell once a day. So instead of using it for something useful, Javara decided to do the most heinous of things. He telepathically sent the wood nymph a winky face. To his luck, it seemed the nymph understood his plea. She began to casually walk in his direction, her face slightly tilted down to stare at Javara's underrobes. As they were close together, Javara noticed that she was blushing.
Oh boy, this is so fucking hot. I'm finally getting laid in an imaginary board game.
Dillan proclaimed aloud in his mother's basement. The nymph reached into Dillan's pants and grabbed the hardest thing she could find. That's when she found it. His wand of magic missile.
Don't rub it too hard. It could shoot prematurely.
The nymph, not understanding his words, ripped down his trousers and quickly bent over in front of him, ready to take one for the team. She was so gooey, her genitalia was aching. Not just in a sexual way. Javara noticed that her nymph cooch was covered in sores squirting bits of pus, and he even smelled a hint of burning popcorn as she spread her ass cheeks. Javara grew somewhat hesitant. His mind said no, but his body was erect like his brother was in their private school showers. Deciding the reward outweighed the risk, Javara went for it. His wand of magic missiles thrust in hard like a bumper car. With just a few thrusts, Javara was beginning to regret this. There was pain. A lot of it. It felt like someone took a wood nail and hammered it straight into his urethra. His crotch was fiery, searing even. Every thrust was slowly peeling skin from his erection.
Ow, ow, ow. Why does getting laid hurt so much?
Within seconds, Javara was ready to erupt. He quickly pulled out his immensely damaged thumb drive-sized penis and squirted a slightly pink jism all over the back of the nymph. Blood was in the semen. He didn't care. He just got laid. This sorcerer was now a conjurer of STDs. Dillan was masturbating furiously to the images of this in his head. And as he was moaning in pleasure from the digital encounter, he forgot that his TeamSpeak microphone was on.